Hi guys, I was asked to give a little presentation on interactive whiteboards. Now I will give you fair advance here. My particular interactive whiteboard, it's actually a mnemonic board. I use Active Inspire. Mine currently is pretty glitchy. Something is wrong with the motherboard. We're trying to get it replaced. So some of my clicks may not work, so you may see me walk over to my computer, make a few clicks. I may walk you over there to see it anyway. And on the recording, and I'm checking here to see how well it's showing up. It looks like I can read it on the recording here, so I'm hoping you can see the screen fairly well. Now, I don't know exactly what questions you might have. It's kind of hard when doing a video to actually answer individual questions, but I guess I'm going to show you some of the things and features that I like the most that I'm able to use in my classroom. And currently right now, this is an exponential growth model that I was being able to explain to one of my students the other day. Now this graph right here, I could actually physically draw a graph with the students as well, but what I was able to do with this graph and with the properties here, I can go into our graphic calculators. Our school's purchased a smart board version of this. Now I'm already having trouble opening it here. There we go. Okay, and as you can see, I can pull that right up, just like it pulled right off of my computer screen. A lot of you know that because I know you probably use interactive whiteboards here as well. But what it allows me to do right here is actually touch the calculator how a student would, and it shows them all the exact buttons and what they need to do as well. Now, what it does is it allows me to type in the equations that I want. Now, for example, for what I did on like that particular interactive whiteboard lesson, is I was able to type in a calculation. Now, let me see if I can get this to work here. So I'm going to go with an X. Maybe. So I'll go over and type, there you go. Just very simply an X. I want to double minus X minus, let's see here. Maybe. I do an X minus 1. Okay, kind of keep it simple here so I. Let me finish typing it on the computer. Like I said, my board's a little glitchy, so I do apologize on that. They are very nice when they work, we'll put it that way. We're just doing X plus 1. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hit zoom 60 so it's in a standard window. And as you can see, it's graphing. And right in front of the students, I can show them the graph and how it should be coming up. Now, a lot of students will get in the habit of like, oh, Mr. Messon's going to graph it for us anyway, so we'll just let him do it. Now, typically I make them type it in first and see what graph they have, and then I say, all right, well, do you have this graph? And then I can come around and check the graph to see what they have. Now, anyway, if I'm making a test even or something, this is actually very, very useful. The software is anyway, because what I can do is if I go back into my interactive whiteboard, which is really acting up. Anyway, I go back into this board. And as you can see, I have a different graph here, but this is one that I actually took from that calculator series. And right up here I have a toolbar basically. And basically it took the screen away, but it actually gave me a little icon in the middle here. And what it's allowing me to do, and I usually do this from the computer just because it's a little bit easier than clicking with your whiteboard anyway. But if you see this middle icon right here move, right here's a picture button, and I can click on this box right here. Picture box, and it allows me to draw a box of the screen wherever I want to. Now, particularly, I'm going to focus on the main screen right here so I can take a picture of the graph that I just created. And as you can see here on this in the center screen now, I've got either current page, I can put on a new page, save my clipboard, my resources, or share the resources. For the purposes here, I just took the picture. You might have heard the sound. You can turn your sound off if you want. Then I go back into my screen, and it's actually put this picture in there, and I'm just going to blow it up here so you can see it. Okay, so I was able to just take my graph and put it into my worksheet pretty simply, and it's in a view that students can see and are able to use very easily. Now, the next thing that I kind of want to show you with this is the easy access to writing equations using that kind of same type of screen. So here's a calculus example that I've used. This is a lesson where I'm talking about antiderivatives. Now, in this actual software, there are symbols you could use, there's square root symbols, there's things like that, but they don't always look the nicest when writing them. However, if I go into a Word document, okay, I've got, well, first of all, graphs that I've created that I could copy over if I wanted to use those as well. But I can also type in the equation that I want, because you have equation generators in your Microsoft software or other software that you want to use, and you can quickly take a picture of it. Okay. Now, again, if I'm creating back to my interactive whiteboard, if I'm creating a lesson and there's a short clip that I want to show, for example, I used conic sections the other day. I wanted to show them where the sections came from, and there was a YouTube video that actually cut the cone into its respective pieces: the circle, the ellipse, the hyperbola, the parabola, all the different conic sections. So what was really nice about that is I could create a link, put it into my interactive board, click the link, it goes right there, it plays the video, and then I continue on and move on. Other nice little features with this, I'll just kind of go through some of them. If I get to, let's see, there's the homework page. If I go to a blank page here, you obviously have your draw tool, okay, where you can write 2 plus 2 equals 4. I mean, you got everything, and again, as you can see, it's got a little glitch here. You've got your shape tool, you got your fill tool. One really nice thing too, I will point out that I had used before when creating a lesson. I've used my highlight tool. Let's say I've got 1, 2, let's do this one. If I can just get a single dot there. Okay, so I've got some dots there. And if I go to my line tool, okay, the nice thing is, if I want a straight line between those 2 dots, I can connect them. Now this one didn't connect initially there. Well, what I can do is if I click on that right there, I've got it to click and drag now. Okay, and again, sometimes it's easier to set up from the computer, and that's actually okay. Highlight this, I can click and it'll sync right up with that button. Okay, now the nice thing again, grab the button, I can move that all around to wherever I want it to be, and so it's basically going to change my line at that point, and then I accidentally leave it there. Okay, so those are just some neat things that you can use for it. I wish I had more specific questions on what I could do to answer for you guys, but there's just a quick run through of the advantages of using the interactive whiteboard.